Good morning. I got up and out of camp early for this day 18 summit day. You can put summit in quotes because there's really not a mountain we're summiting, but we will hit the southern terminus of the Benton Mackaye trail and we'll be done with this hike. I think I mentioned at the end of yesterday's video, which was truncated because I just didn't film because I was not feeling it yesterday. I was tired. It's funny. I have two alternative trail names. I don't know if you guys knew that. If you watched our AT videos, you know that one of them is COG, C-O-G. That just stands for Cranky Old Greg. And that personality comes out when I'm just having a bad day and nothing seems to be going right. And I kind of take it for a ride. The other one is actually the quite opposite. And Chica has started calling me Al, A-L. You can call me Al because that's the other side of my personality is sometimes just to be contrarian. I will always put a positive spin on anything negative someone says. Oh my God, it's raining out. At least the water sources are full. You know, that sort of thing. So AL stands for at least. And yesterday was hard, but at least it's done. And today, I'm a little bit confused on how to get back to the Springer Mountain parking lot. I mean, I know I can get there. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm confused is how long it's going to take, how many extra tenths of a mile or miles it'll take. So, starting out of camp, I had 12 miles to do, plus what I think is right is another mile to Springer Mountain parking. So I read one of the far out comments and he's like, yeah, far out doesn't really address how to get back to, you know, the starting point or where most people get dropped off. And you can do the 0.2 to the summit of Springer, and from there you can do 0.9 to the parking lot. So that's an option, so 1.1. But there is a AT trail junction right near the end of the Benton Mackaye trail. And I think I can just backtrack to that junction and take me back to that parking lot and only do 0.3 to the parking lot, which I've seen Springer Mountain. We did the AT in 2017, summited Springer to get our start going, and then went right back down it because the parking lot is a mile from the summit. So we'll see. Hopefully I remember to take you along for that informational ride whenever I get to that point. But I have come to the conclusion that I really like the Benton Mackaye trail. It is challenging. I would love to do it when all the leaves are off the trees, late fall, early spring maybe. Get some of these views that I just get really, really small snapshots of through the trees. Hiking in July does pose its problems, and one of those were 3 or 4 sections of really bad overgrowth that got me all scratched up. One which I stood in the middle of, surrounded by all these blackberry bushes that were tugging on me from the top, the bottom, the sides. And I just said, no way can get through this. Well, guess what? You can, but what a pain in the ass. So I think Benton Mackaye Trail would be a great national scenic trail. Some of the ones that are on the National Scenic Trail list, I don't know exactly how they got on there. I had a friend who's in government or something that owed him a favor. I don't know. But BMT, great distance, lots of variety. For me, I really enjoy a restaurant meal every now and then, and maybe a hotel, so you have options for that. Very sparingly, so that's nice. So you do get the full thing. And then one of the main things about the BMT, I think, to know is it is a solitary trail. Even in its peak times, the fall and spring, you're not going to see many people out here through hiking for sure. So it's kind of like the Bartram Trail in that regard, which also means you're going to be clearing spider webs. This is the first of several Appalachian Trail / Benton Mackaye Trail junctions. Looks like we coincide with the AT for a minute here. Kind of cool. I love being on the AT. We have a nice, pleasant stroll here along the river. You know, last day of a long hike is usually a range of emotions for me. I'm glad to be done. I wish it could go on. I'll never through hike again. What's the next through hike gonna be? All these things play through. One of the most consistent thoughts, usually in the last few miles, is don't trip and break something and terminate your hike. That would be the worst. So I was just walking this trail going up to Stringer Mountain and startled some wild boar who were, it's about 10 or 15 feet from the trail. They crashed through the forest very loud. Those things are big. I'm glad they ran away from me and not towards me. Those things can be mean. I think there were 4 of them. So if we want to do animal count for this trip, 4 boar, 1 bear. Let's see, 1 bobcat, 3 snakes, including 1 timber rattler. That was quite healthy. The other 2 were nondescript, non-venomous small snakes. What else did we see? I saw 4 deer the other day, all in one day in Georgia. I know I'm missing something. I removed 12 ticks, from my body. I've killed 24 horseflies, and that count might go up because they're pretty bad right now. I smashed through at least 100 spider webs with my face. So, not too bad for 18 days. You'd expect to see more. I would, out here in the wild, in the wilderness, but for the most part, these animals don't want anything to do with you or me. So, that's your animal recap. Thank you, Benton Mackaye, for your vision that ended up becoming the Appalachian Trail. It did not turn out exactly the way he envisioned it, but it's pretty kick-ass. And I don't think he created this trail after him, his namesake. I think he's just named for it. So, that plaque is the closest thing you'll come to fanfare for the southern terminus of the Benton Mackaye Trail. In about a tenth of a mile, we'll hit a sign, a crossing of the Appalachian Trail, and the first crossing of the Benton Mackaye. And that is it. That's what marks the southern terminus. So funny. One of the reasons we wanted to go SoBo on the AT was to get that iconic Katahdin climb at the end with the sign. It was just such a great finish. At one point we considered a flip-flop, and you know, at the end you just end where you are, where you completed the trail. That might be a town or campsite or trailhead or whatever. I think it's kind of nice on these longer trails to have some sort of, I wouldn't say monument, but some sort of significance to the start and the end. What the heck? What do I know? I'm just grateful to be here. And here we are. I have completed the Benton Mackaye Trail. Woot! So, in far out, I took off my Benton Mackaye trail guide that was set to southbound and switched on my Springer to Standing Bear Farm segment of the AT, switched that to northbound, and was able to find easily where the parking lot is. So you just take a right there at the trail, go right on the AT, which is north. South continues on to the approach trail. And I gotta go 0.7 north to get to the parking lot. And then we'll be done. Thanks for joining me on this trip. Hope you had fun.